Hi everyone, and welcome to your 60-minute Vinyasa. My name is Christine and I'll be your guide today. Let's begin on our backs. As you lie on your backs, bring one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Let the shoulder blades be wide on your mat. Long legs. Move your attention to your breath as you breathe in and out through your nose. Feel the swirling of the air come through the nostrils, down the throat, into the belly. As you exhale, feel the descent of the belly towards your mat. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Set an intention for your practice today if you would like. Today's practice is challenge your body. So a reminder to take a break whenever you need, water when you like, and then come back and join in when you're ready. On your next inhale, morning stretch. Stretch your arms above your head, point and flex your toes. And on the exhale, release the body to soften. Again, inhale, stretch even more through the side body. On the exhale, draw the knees in towards your body. Place your hands on your kneecaps. Go ahead and take the knees out towards the sides of your mat, creating more space in between the legs, and then circle them up towards the chest, bringing the legs together, pressing them down and circling again, creating some circles here for the hips. Do one more circle this way and then change the direction of your circles. They can be small or large. One last circle, and then when you're done, go ahead and bring your legs up in the air, feet towards the sky. Slight bend in the knees so that you feel your knees are over your hips. Some space between the legs, and start to circle your ankles. Circle them in the other direction. Point and flex your toes. Take your time, don't point and flex too fast. One more of each. And then on your next exhale, bring your right knee into chest as your left leg slowly lowers towards the floor. Keep the lower back pressing down into your mat. Hover your left leg so that the heel is off the ground, pushing the back into the floor. Keep the right knee into the chest. Dorsiflex your left toes, bringing the toes towards your shin. Continue to breathe. Then slowly lift the left leg back up towards the sky. Release and bring your right leg up again. Come in to happy baby pose. Take a moment here. Breathe. Then release, let your legs come back up towards the sky, and then left knee to chest, and then slowly allow the right leg to come down towards the mat, pressing the lower back into the floor, hovering the right ankle off the ground. Continuing to breathe, feeling the core engaged here. Trying to eliminate the lower arch in your back. Dorsiflex the right toes. This time, inhale, bring the right leg back up towards the sky. Then the left leg follows. Bring the knees in and begin to rock forward and back to come up to seated. And find tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide, knees hip distance apart. Let's begin with some cat-cows. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, round your back, come into cat, tuck everything in. Inhale, pull the heart forward, gaze forward, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone and chin, and inhaling for cow. 3 more like this. Two more rounds. Last one. And back to neutral spine. Extend your right leg back. Make sure the hip is facing the floor. Left arm comes forward, balancing table. Zip up the core, really think about being steady and lengthen from your fingertips and the back heel. One more breath. Exhale, hand and knee to the mat. Press into your first downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal one heel towards the floor as you bend the other knee. Move your hips around if that feels good. Back to tabletop. The left leg extends back. Hip towards the ground, and then right arm for balancing. Pull up the core, nice and tight. Breathe deeply. Two more breaths here. Knee and hand to the mat, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, fingertips pressing into the mat, about 10% of your weight. Then find your strong downward facing dog, pressing the chest towards your upper thighs. On your next exhale, bring the knees down to hover. Do not touch the floor. Keep the core nice and tight. Breathe. You can stay here or add on by lifting one foot off the ground slightly, a couple of inches. You don't need to. This is an add-on. If you do that, make sure you do the other side. Press back to downward facing dog. Coming back to tabletop, take your right arm and twist. Stay here. Really feel the right shoulder blade coming down towards the middle of your spine as well as down the back. We're going to thread our needle here, bring the arm behind the left, right shoulder and head towards the ground. Walk the left hand towards the top of your mat, and if there's room to sit back towards your heels. Walk the left hand back towards you, come back for your twist to the right, and then come back tabletop. Left side, Twist and hold. Thread your needle, head and shoulder to the mat. Walk your right arm up towards the top of your mat and sit back towards your heels. Right arm back towards your face or your shoulder. Twist back to the left. Hands back to tabletop. Right leg back, heel towards the back wall. Let's bend our right knee, curl the hamstring. Good. From here, open the hip into fire hydrant. Hold it. Extend the leg out so you're straightening your leg. Bend back the knee, back to fire hydrant. Tuck everything in, push your hands away from the floor. Hold here. Extend the right leg back. Curl of the leg. Open for fire hydrant. Extension of the leg. Curl back. Fire hydrant, tuck it all in, knee to chest, and hold. Last one, back, curl, think about your core, open to fire hydrant, extend the leg out and hold, come back in, and tuck it all in. Good job. Let's move to the left side. Left leg extends. Let's curl the hamstring. Open the hip up, fire hydrant and hold. Extension of the left leg. Curl it back in to fire hydrant. Tuck it all in, knee to chest. Again, extension of the leg back. Look for your pinky toe so that it's facing the ground. Curl your hamstring really tight. Bring your heel towards your sit bone. Open the hip up, fire hydrant. Extension of the leg out. Bring it back in for fire hydrant. And then tuck it all knee to chest. 2 more like this. Take it slow. Curl. Fire hydrant. Extension. Fire hydrant, back. And then tuck it all in. Push your hands away from the floor. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Get that upper thigh in towards your belly. And last one, extend, curl, fire hydrant, extension of the leg, back to fire hydrant, knee to chest, and knee back to the floor. Curl your toes under your feet and come to sit up towards your heels for foot and toe stretch. Bring your hands together, do some figure 8s with your wrists. Make sure you do both sides. And then shake your hands and fingers out. Good job. Come back to tabletop, to your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, raise the right leg up towards the sky. 3-legged dog. Bend the knee and open the hip to the right. Stay here. Press your hands into the mat, pushing your chest towards your upper thighs. You can stay here. 2 more breaths. Re-straighten your right leg so your hip bone is facing the mat. Slowly bring the foot down for downward facing dog. Left leg rises. Still straight leg, heel reaching back. Bend the knee, open the hip to the left. Push your hands so that the chest is moving towards your upper thigh. Couple of more breaths here. Extend the leg back, bring that hip bone to point towards the floor. Bring the foot slowly down. Tiptoe to the front for forward fold. Find dangling by grabbing the opposite elbows with your hands. Release the neck and head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale for halfway lift. Push your shins into your hands into your shins. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Bring your hands to your hips, and then come to stand. Mountain pose. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Extended mountain. And mountain pose. Do that again. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Interlace your fingers at the top and steeple, bend the elbows. Breathe in to lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, side bend to the right. Keep the elbows bent. Side bending and breathing. Inhale to rise. Exhale, other side. Inhale to rise. We're going to twist to the right. Let your left arm come down in front of you, right arm behind you. Palms face the side wall in your twist. Inhale to rise, and exhale to twist leftward, palms facing the side wall. Inhale to rise. Exhale to twist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold forward. Step back into lunge. Frame your left foot, right foot back. Shimmy your toes as far back as you can. Sink down towards your mat. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Lift the arms towards the ears or in Y shape. Pull the belly up and in. Keep the core strong. Hands come back to the mat. Press into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Left leg back for lunge. Move your hands to frame your right foot. Shimmy the left toes as far back as you can. And sit yourself down towards your mat. Bring the pelvis and pubic bone towards the floor. Arms up towards the ears, core on strong. Frame your right foot again, press back to forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale to squat, come up on your toes, bring your fingertips to the ground. Tiny little ball, gaze forward. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to squat. Exhale to fold forward. Right leg back for lunge again. Frame your left foot. Bring your left arm up towards the sky for twist. Stay here and breathe. Hand comes back down, twisting to the right. Holding and breathing. Exhale, frame your foot. Bring your left leg back, come into plank. Plank can be on your toes or on your knees. Zip up your core. Make sure the belly's not sagging down. Press back to downward facing dog. Walk to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back, framing your right foot for lunge. Gaze forward. Right arm comes up to twist. Left arm stays on the mat. Exhale, right hand back to the mat. Left arm rises for twist. Exhale, hand comes back to the floor. We're taking the right leg back for high plank on toes or knees. Hold and bring the core nice and strong. Bring your knees to the ground if they're not there. Then lower the body slowly, chest to the floor. Inhale for cobra, small cobra here. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come into high plank. Either lower the knees or stay. Let's flow or vinyasa. Come down to the floor slowly. Coming in to cobra. Press back for downward facing dog. Right leg rises towards the sky. Right knee to right elbow and hold. Extend back to three-legged dog slowly. Right knee to left elbow and hold. Right leg back for three-legged dog. Bring your foot through between your hands. Come up into warrior two. Bending through your right knee, making sure your shoulders and arms are facing the long part of your mat. Half your weight down the back leg, half the weight down the right. Maybe bring your arms in by flipping the palms, readjusting the shoulder blades. Cartwheel the hands to frame your foot. Come on the back toe, so you're kicking back. High plank. Let's lower down slowly. Coming into cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg rises up towards the sky. Left knee to left elbow. Hold. Core is tight. Send the left leg back over to the right elbow. Bring the foot in between the hands for lunge. And then warrior two. Gaze over your left hand. Maybe flip the palms up again. Make sure the shoulder blades are snug. Cartwheel the arms again. Come up onto your right toes. Back to high plank. Hold the plank. We're going to come into a side plank. Choose your variation. Keep the right hand on the mat and let's let the left arm come up. Many variations. Maybe we're down here. Remember, this is challenge your body. Bring yourself back to plank pose and press back to downward facing dog. Back to high plank. And then other side. Right arm comes up towards the sky. Whatever variation you're doing. Back to your high plank pose, and then back to downward facing dog. Up dog and down dog. So this is downward facing dog. Up dog, you come toward your high plank, let the hips come forward. The only thing that stays on the ground are your toes and your hands. You don't have to have a big arch. Press back to downward facing dog. Back to up dog. Back to downward facing dog. One more as you exhale, come down. Breathe. And back to downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Extended mountain. And mountain pose. Good job. Let's come into some balancing poses here. We'll start with knee to chest. Feet are hip distance apart, right knee to chest. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Your core is zipped up like a nice winter coat. Stay here, practicing or adding on by letting the right hip open. You can even use your hand and lift the knee slightly higher. And then you can start to extend the leg if you'd like, or not. Stay where you're practicing. Spine is tall. To come out, come back in the same way. So back for knee down towards the side. Bring it for knee to chest. And then lower and release. Left knee to chest. Adding on or staying where you are. Adding on or staying where you are. Coming back out the same way you came in. Ooh, you see, this is where the challenge is. And releasing. Next standing pose will be eagle's pose. Inhale, reach the arms towards the sky. Cross your arms, right elbow under left in beak and sit in chair. If you're adding on, right thigh comes over the left. for balance. Pull the core up and in towards your spine. Feel the elbows come forward and up slightly for stretch in the back. Keep squeezing your inner thighs as if you have a block there. To come out, unravel the arms, bring the knee up for knee to chest, and then feet and arms down for mountain pose. Other side. Inhale. Left arm under right for your beak and sit in chair. Stay here or add on. Thigh over the other side. And smile. Same cues as the other side. Coming out of this one again, arms and knee hike up, and then back to mountain. Mountain pose at the top of your mats. Place your hand on your heart and your belly again. Feel the breath. Sun salutation A. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back, come into your high plank or low plank, and then flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. On your third inhale, up on the toes, walk or hop to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Extend your mountain. Mountain pose. 2 more on your own. Doesn't matter what you're doing, but take your time. Movement with your breath. Take 2 breaths in downward, and then continue on to the front to hop. If you're done before I am, take a pause or do an extra one. Total of 3 sun A's. I'm on my last. Meeting in mountain pose. Take a few nice breaths here. Balancing pose, warrior 3. Come to the back of your mats. Step your right foot forward and bring your arms up towards the sky. Interlace them together. You should be on the back of your toes in the left foot. Begin to dip the chest forward, maybe just slightly at first, lifting the left foot off the ground, or maybe you start to come further down. Either way, remember you're a plank, piece of wood. Pinky toe is facing the mat on the left side. Pull your core in and continue to hold. If you fall out, no problem. Come back to the mat and start over from the beginning. Whatever warrior 3 you want to do. And then come to stand. Back to the back of your mats. Step left foot forward and come to warrior 3 on this side. Keep practicing. And then back to mountain pose. Back to the top of your mats. Sun salutation B. Inhale, sit in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back and flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Then right leg rises for three-legged dog. Slowly come to knee to chest and then plant the foot in between your hands. Coming for warrior 1, plant the left heel down and then lift the torso. Frame your right foot again, right leg back for high plank and flow. You can skip the flow, go right to downward facing dog, left leg rises, knee to chest, foot comes in the middle. Take your time. Right heel to the ground for warrior 1. Back to flow. Stay in downward facing dog for 2 breaths. On your third inhale, come up onto your toes. Bend your knees, walk or hop front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale for chair. Exhale to stand. One more. Inhale, come into chair. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back or hop and flow. Or skip it and meet in downward facing dog. Right leg rises, knee to chest, foot in between the hands, warrior 1. Back down to frame and flow. Left leg rises, left knee to chest, hand in between, warrior 1. Back to flow or skip. Two breaths in downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk or hop to the front for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Chair pose on the breath in. And mountain pose for exhale. You may want to block for our next pose. It'll be a straddled forward fold. So come to the side or long part of your mat. Wide stance and your toes, your big toes might even be slightly turned inward. Inhale, reach the arms towards the sky. As you exhale, come to flat back with the arms extended out in front of you. Keep holding here, use your core. Then exhale and continue the descent down to the block or the floor. Here you might choose to widen your stance or shorten it. Otherwise, just make sure the toes are facing forward. Allow the chest to come towards the center of the legs. Deep breaths here. Inhale to halfway lift, meaning straightening the spine and the arms. And then turn your feet out or heels are in. Begin to bend the right knee and walk over towards the right leg, straightening the left leg. You might be using your blocks here to help you go from side to side. You should feel a nice stretch in the inner leg here. Continue to go from side to side, but pause for the stretch. One more on each side. Then come back to center, turn the toes back in and continue to fold forward. Maybe you walk your hands in between your legs. Help bring your chest down. Inhale for halfway lift. And now we're going to twist. Take your right arm up towards the sky. Hold it here. Then bend your right elbow. Bring your fingertips behind your head and press the elbow back. Hold. Extend the arm straight up and bring it to the mat or block. Other side. Straight arm first. Bend the left elbow, bring fingers behind the head. Elbow presses back. Breathe. Extending the arm. And hand to the mat. Turn the toes out again. Maybe bring them closer, but we're coming into our running back position. As if we're playing football, a bit of a squat here, not malasana. Exhale to fold forward, turn the toes forward and centered. Bring your hands onto your hips. And then come to stand. Mountain pose. Come to the top of your mats. Hands on your hips. Take your right leg back for warrior one. Make sure your hips are still in front of the mat and then bring your arms towards the sky. From here you can shimmy your front foot forward for more distance. Half the weight in this front leg, half the weight going down the back leg. Take your hands to heart center. We're going to twist here. So take that right arm over the left thigh, and create the twist that you would like. Come back to center and back to warrior one. Come up onto the back toes and then turn your foot for warrior two. You can widen your stance if you'd like. Flip your left palm and reverse your warrior. Legs don't change. This is an upper body movement. Strong arms in both directions. Come back to warrior two. Extended side angle. Come into triangle, straighten the front leg. Bend your left knee back and then come to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands, come into your lunge, push into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Extend your mountain and mountain pose. Hands on hips, left leg back, warrior one. Make sure the shoulder blades are going down the back. Hands to heart center, maybe a little lean forward to twist. Other side. Back to warrior one. Come up off the back toe, turn and pivot your foot for warrior two. It should put you in the right position for warrior two. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Back to warrior two. And extended side angle. Lengthen through the side. Triangle. Straightening the front leg. Bend through the right knee, back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down for lunge. Press back to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Bring one knee to the mat and then the other. Sit back in child's pose. A little bit of core. You'll need a block. Let's come down onto our backs. Block in between the thighs, upper thighs. We'll start by lifting our legs up towards the sky. Keeping your arms by your sides, lift your forehead towards your knees and bring it as close as you can towards your block. Palms are facing one another. You can add on by pulsing or just staying here. Stay here as long as you can. And remember not to pull with the neck. Really use the abdominals to keep you up. Maybe you place one hand behind your head to support the head and neck. If you need a break, you take it. Take a few breaths and come back. Challenge the body. That's the work today. Exhale to release. Feet to the mat, as well as head and shoulders. Legs back up towards the sky. Both arms come towards the left. So right arm crosses over the body towards the left. And we hold here, or we pulse slightly. Pressing the lower back into the mat. Crunching, bringing the forehead towards your knees. Doing the side ab here, the oblique. Don't forget to breathe. And release. One last side, lift the legs up towards the sky, everything over towards the right. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze like you're bringing the lower abs towards the upper abs, creating a fold, like a pita sandwich. And remove the block from in between your thighs. Keep the knees bent, feet on the mat for a moment. Bring the knees in and rock yourself forward and up. We're going to do a forward fold here, legs extended out in front. Inhale, reach the arms towards the sky, and then exhale to fold forward. Remember, find that first edge where you're feeling something, and just stay there for a moment and breathe. Then you can maybe let the head round, the shoulders round, and go towards the knees. Dorsiflex your toes if you haven't already done so. Inhale to rise. Take your right leg in front of you, bent in this shape, and then the left leg behind you. From here, you might notice you're leaning to one side. Be as tall as you can, and then just lean forward and down to see if you get a stretch in that front right hip. For many people, you will. If not, you continue to straighten the back leg, going towards pigeon. So you might be halfway, or maybe you will come completely into your pigeon pose. Come up to proud pigeon, meaning walking your hands towards your front leg if you're there in pigeon. If not, just stay in your stretch. To add on, you can bend the left leg, maybe find it for stretch. Then slowly begin to come out of this shape. We're going to do the other side. Left leg in front, right leg behind. Being forward and down. Maybe here's where you stay, or maybe you start to let the back leg find a pigeon shape. For those of you in pigeon, come up to proud pigeon for a moment and maybe stay here or add on by bending the knee in the back, finding your leg. And slowly making your way out of pigeon. Finding your way down onto your backs. Before Shavasana, let's come into a twist. Choose whichever twist you prefer, legs together, legs crossed. Let your arms come into T shape and the knees to fall to one side of your mat. Maybe some belly breathing here, expanding the belly forward on the breath in and drawing it back down on the breath out. Coming back to center with the knees, unraveling if you crossed, and then twisting in the other direction. Bringing your knees back to center. And now finding your resting pose. So if you have blankets and props you would like to add, this would be the time to do so. Take at least 5 minutes here in Shavasana, remembering this is the pose that rejuvenates, revitalizes your body. Stay as long as you would like in Shavasana. It was a pleasure practicing with you today. Namaste.